his book Ecclesiastes about having time and season for every purpose under heaven. There was a time when our lives were in a pause and all of us were in confusion and fear. God is great, the time for us to move forward and even more rather in despair as calm. The reason for answering mutual seemed to be enduring, but all of our efforts call for a moment of celebration. Guests, parents, pupils, ladies and gentlemen, the 40th Aurelio Elementary School completion ceremonies is now in session. To start with, please rise for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem by an audio-video presentation, and to be followed by a prayer by a grade 6 result pupil, John Adam Ferdinand I. Dilihero.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Let us pray in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to celebrate the 48 years grade 6 completion ceremony of our dear alma mater, Aurelio Elementary School. We want to glorify you for what you have done for us, young learners, throughout the school year, the great favor, talents and abilities of our dear teachers who encounter great change and challenge in the holistic aspect of our learning experience amidst pandemic. Today, as a chapter has closed and another awaits, please Almighty Father, pave our roads as we take the next step and journey towards education. Continue to bless us, the graduates, dear teachers, and our parents and guardians, with love, protection, mercy, strength, and wisdom. Make this occasion a successful one, and may our hearts be filled with joy and satisfaction. We ask all this in the name of Jesus Christ. We believe and pray. Amen.
Please remain standing for the singing of the Kahalaga hymn and division hymn via audio-video presentation.
Welcome to our beloved Kahalaga, historic name of Region 13. God's boundless love and blessings are always coming up His train. Through down valleys and towering trees, deepest oceans and shining seas, gentle, loving, and caring people
The Schools Division of the Nagat Islands in the kahalaga region has immensely grown as an organization. Some 13 years ago, Schools Division of the Nagat Islands had only 7 districts in its inception in 2007 by virtue of the Republic Act No. 9355. Welcome to the Schools Division of the Nagat Islands, the home of 23,130 learners, 1,374 teaching personnel, and 278 non-teaching staff. Ladies and gentlemen, the Curriculum Implementation Division, in partnership with the Schools Governance and Operations Division and the rendition of the Schools Division Office official hymn.
DepEd in Nagat Islands Division, go and give education to the Naganos. Children are the people in the province, with the vision of its existence. Our solemn duty to child's education, go on move with dedication. The future of all the Naganos, education for better vocation. It shall march proudly with prowess, teachers, personnel, and staff. We share honesty and conviction, offer our best in the name of education. The Nagat Islands Division, pride of the free and mighty Dinaganos, a place in the Orient Seas, full of wonders and beauty. Division staff and teachers, along with local leaders, we guide the learner's way for the desired victory. DepEd in Nagat Islands Division, go and give education to the Naganos. Children are the people in the province, with the vision of its existence. Our solemn duty to child's education, go and mold with dedication. The future of all the Naganos, education for better vocation. We shall march proudly with prowess, teachers, personnel, and staff. We share honesty and conviction, offer our best in the name of education. The Nagat Islands Division, pride of the free and mighty Dinaganos, a place in the Orient Seas, full of wonders and beauty. Division staff and teachers, along with local leaders, we guide the learner's way for the desired victory. We guide the learner's way for the desired victory.
Happy 13th Anniversary, DepEd Dinagat Islands. Padayon sa pagtuon mga batang dinagat nun. Handang isip, handa bukas.
And now, let's hear the welcome remarks by a gracious SSC people, Ryan, Gabriel,
our division personnel, headed by our Motherly School Division Superintendent, Dr. Felisa G. Laranjo, to our dynamic district supervisor, Mr. Elias S. Durero, to the faculty and staff of Aurelio Elementary School, spearheaded by our dedicated head teacher, Mrs. Lourdes H. Castro, to our guest of honor, beloved teachers, supportive parents, fellow learners, and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, my warmest greetings to everyone. Today, we are gathered to celebrate the most significant event, the completion ceremonies, and reap the outputs of our sacrifices after 6 years of burning the midnight candle. This happens and becomes possible because of our loved ones, especially the unconditional love of our parents and other people or stakeholders that support our studies. Above all, to our divine Creator, who blessed us every day to surpass different challenges that come our way. Thus, thank you very much. At this moment, my feeling is a mixture of happiness and sadness. Happiness, because we are successful in elementary and we will proceed to another level of formal education. Sadness, because I will miss our companionship of being together in doing educational activities. However, the value of learning from those activities will remain as motivation in pursuing my goal. Few moments from now, our success will be declared as completers, and we will reap the fruits of our earliest hard work. Though it is not as grand as we used to have, but nevertheless, the victory deserves celebration. Fellow graduates, I hope and pray that our Heavenly Father may bless and guide us all towards a righteous path in life to realize our dreams. On behalf of the Aurelio Elementary School Batch 2021, it's my pleasure to welcome our honored guests, parents, guardians, and beholders to witness the completion ceremonies. Thank you and good morning.
Let us witness the presentation of candidates for completion by the school head of Aurelio Elementary School, Lourdes H. Castro. As the school head of Aurelio Elementary School, I have the honor to present to you the candidates for completion for this school year 2020-2021, composed of 71 male and 59 female pupils with a total of 130 grade 6 completers. I hereby petition the Office of the District Supervisor to recommend the completion of the requirements of these candidates. And now, let's hear the recommendation of candidates by the PSDS of San Jose District, Sir Elias S. Durero.
Good day, everyone. Dr. Felisa G. Laranjo, CISO 6. Schools Division Superintendent of Schools Division of Dinagat Islands. Upon the presentation by the school head of Aurelio Elementary School, Mrs. Lourdes H. Castro, Head Teacher 1. I, Elias S. Durero, the Public Schools District Supervisor of San Jose District, have the honor to recommend to you the 130 candidates for completion of Aurelio Elementary School for the school year 2020-2021. They have satisfactorily completed all the requirements prescribed by K-12 Basic Education Curriculum of the Department of Education. They are now ready for your confirmation.
The confirmation of completers by the school's division superintendent, Dr. Felisa G. Laranjo, CISO 6.
After having been presented by your school head and recommended by your public schools district supervisors, after having completed all the requirements of the K-12 program as implemented this year by the Basic Education Continuity Plan of the Department of Education this pandemic year, as your OIC Schools Division Superintendent, do hereby declare you as completers for grade 6. This is school year 2020-2021. So you may now proceed to your next grade, grade 7, in the school year 2021-2022. Congratulations, my dear completers.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the message of our DepEd Secretary, Secretary Nora M. Briones.
Good day to each and everyone who is attending virtually present at this time of our graduation ceremonies for our beloved and very precious graduates for the school year which ends at this time. First of all, I'd like to greet the parents and family members without whose sacrifices, whose reminders, and whose participation in the learning process for our graduates have resulted in this culmination program. This year, your role has changed drastically, where we've always believed that the matter of educating our children rests nearly exclusively on our teachers and our staff. This time, you parents, you family members, you who are in the households of our learners have expanded your role and contributed to this wonderful day, wherein finally, our learners are graduating in this culmination exercise. So congratulations, because this year has not been very easy, has not been a picnic for our teachers, for our family members, as well, especially the parents, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and all who have contributed to the achievement of our learners at this time. So, maraming salamat at congratulations, parents and family members. Mas malaki ang role ninyo at this time compared to earlier graduation exercises. Secondly, I would also like to greet our teachers, without whose very careful review and careful supervision of the work of our pupils and our learners, this event would not be taking place at all. And so thank you, teachers. Your role has also expanded, in addition to seeing to it that the modules are faithfully followed, the assignments are correctly implemented, and the learners are truly learning. And you have had to deal with new ways of assessing the performance also of the learners. So congratulations, teachers, for enduring, for your patience, for your love for our learners, and your willingness to engage in a way and methods of teaching which are different from those which are used to. Assessment must have been especially difficult for you, especially since you were not able to see most of the time our students in face-to-face meetings, and most of the meetings, of course, were virtual. We'd also like to thank the local government units for their interest, for their cooperation, and for their continuing contributions to the needs of education, even as our children do not go to school. Your donations of material as well as financial resources at this time are most welcome, and your advice has been taken seriously not only by our teachers, by our school officials, but also by our officials in the Department of Education. We continually talk with local government units, especially in times of disaster, in times of great need for classrooms, for space, and for responses to unforeseen emergencies. Thank you, local government units. But of course, most of the congratulatory greetings fall on the deserving graduate. Each and every one of you is truly special. You are different from the other graduates who have passed through the portals of your school. You went to school practically without seeing your teachers, if at all. You went to school with your parents, your mothers, and your fathers hovering over your shoulders and seeing to it that you are able to complete your assignments. You are completing your studies at a time when examinations and assessments are different. You are culminating these long months of hard work at this time, even as you have to do family chores, even as you are distracted, and even as your world has turned upside down, and it seems and it appears as if we don't know what the future holds and what will happen next. But you have persevered, and now you are ready to graduate. And therefore, you deserve each and every bit of congratulations from us in the Department of Education, from your parents and family members, your teachers, from the officials in local government, as well as in the parent teachers associations. You deserve each and every single congratulatory pat on your back, each hug virtually, of course, and each greeting, which I am sure you are also receiving virtually. I don't know if you will remember this event many, many years from now. I have tried to recall myself who our graduation speaker was when I finished high school and when I finished my college studies. All I remember is that the graduation speaker was someone important, someone who was invited because that someone is supposed to give a message. What was more important to us graduates at that time was the excitement of the celebrations, the happiness and the joy of our parents, the sadness of parting from our classmates and from our teachers, and the enjoyment of all the graduation events that usually take place come commencement day. When I was a college student, we had a series of events which were designed to embed in our minds, which were designed to help us remember and not forget our days in college. We would spend one whole day going around the campus, visiting the classrooms, saying goodbye to our teachers, and sharing memories. We would have bonfires to say goodbye to each other. We had baccalaureate services where we committed ourselves to God and we prayed for guidance when we go out into the world. So many celebrations, and the speaker, of course, is the least important and easily forgotten component of the graduation exercise. Nonetheless, I will exert all efforts to share with you what I see are things or issues which a graduate should remember and recall. I have said that you are very special. You are very different. You are pioneering. There has been no other class like your class. There has been no other graduate like you as a graduating student, because you are the very first graduate of the blended learning response to education in the Philippines. And so you ask yourself, what awaits you in the world outside? You can either work, because the kind of curriculum you survived and underwent as a student will enable you to go to work if you wish to go to work. Some of you will proceed to further studies, and this would be a wonderful thing, because there are many opportunities for further expanding your knowledge, for further answering and looking for explanations of issues, events that make you curious, especially in science, in technology, and also in the arts. So you can work, you can go to further studies, and perhaps some of you will settle down, hopefully not too soon, so you can pursue what you really want to do. So today, this is why we call this exercise a commencement exercise. It's not the end of our studies. It's not the end of all our efforts with blended learning, with modules, with floods, with earthquakes, and of course with COVID. It's a commencement of doors opening to you. More doors will be opened because you are a graduate. You can work, you can proceed for further studies, you can help your parents, and you can perhaps look for opportunities to do what you have always wanted to do, whether at work, whether at advanced studies, whether at learning more in science and technology, in mathematics, and in the arts. All of these opportunities are available to you. More doors are being opened. I hope you will select the door which arouses your curiosity, the door which will help you know more about this world, and the door which will allow you to contribute to the development of our country and contribute whatever we can to solve our problems and our challenges. Congratulations once more to each and every one of you. Congratulations to you, parents and family members. Congratulations to you, teachers. When I was chair of the board of Silliman University, each time we had graduation ceremonies, during the baccalaureate and during commencement itself, I would cry. I would cry because you are sending out into the world a new batch of graduates, and we want to be sure that what is awaiting them is appropriate. We want to be sure that they are ready for what awaits them when they select which door to open. And so we tell you, go out to the world, do whatever you want to do. God be with you, and be assured that all of us love each and every one of you. Congratulations.
The message of the school's division superintendent, Dr. Felisa J. Laranjo, CC6.
The journey towards success may be long and hard, but it's definitely worth every step. To the completing and graduating class of 2021, my salutation and felicitations to all of you who have significantly reached a milestone in your academic pursuit. I know it never was easy, but I also know that with your courage and persistence, you were able to brave every wave of this adversity that has come your way. By that alone, I am certain that you are now ready to conquer the battles that the future holds. Recently, the COVID-19 pandemic have absolutely made changes in the way we had been used to. This barred us from the face-to-face interaction in our classroom, let alone the compromising holistic development we envisaged you to achieve. That is why this year's theme, Kalidad ng Edukasyon, lalong patatagan sa gitna ng pandemya, or strengthening the quality of education amid COVID-19 pandemic, is very compelling to our end to never lose hope and faith in providing you with quality education you need in order for you to become equipped as you take another step higher in the ladder of education. Now, you are ready to receive your diplomas and certificates. This graduation and completion day, I urge you to take every ounce of honor and pride that you were able to make it with the strong support of your parents and guardians in spite of the threat that the COVID-19 pandemic has brought to our lives. Through this, you will realize that to stop is never an option. Many have put it, graduation is not the end of the road. True indeed, where it is just the onset of more adventures that you will take. On the other hand, the school year may not have been the best year for your learning experience because of the coerced distance that the authorities have set. But this has not compelled us to be divided. As a matter of fact, we in the division office, or partners and stakeholders, have doubled our efforts of uniting the best minds such that we could produce the best learners in the context of our basic education learning continuity plan. Because we firmly believe that education must never be put on hold. And I thank you for your indulgent cooperation that we have made it this far. Conclusively, as you continue to explore the vast dimension of life, there is but one thing that I would like to instill in your minds. No journey is ever easy, but it's definitely worth every step. No obstacle, no pandemic should hinder your threads towards success now that you are capacitated through the magnanimous efforts of your teachers. Transcend to greater heights, dear DEDIKASYON learners, for not only it will be your success and our legacy, but also for the better future of our country. Mabuhay ang kabataang DEDIKASYON.
The message of the Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Sigurdino A. Maglas Jr., SISI.
My sincerest felicitations to the graduates of Batch 2021. Despite the big challenge posed along your way, you have embraced the totally different learning modalities and throwing all away challenges that they bring. With strong determination, you are now reaping the fruit of sacrifices. With this year's theme, Kalidad ng Edukasyon, lalong patatagin sa gitna ng pandemya, strengthening the quality of education amid COVID-19 pandemic, simply sends us message to remain strong and vigilant. The delivery of quality education has been shaken by this pandemic. It requires a persistent and determined learners to become triumphant against this challenge. And that kind of learners are you, our dear graduates. You deserve all praises and accolades for the milestone you have achieved in your education. We will not also forget the efforts of our parents who stand as facilitators of learning at home. The pandemic allowed us to rethink and redefine our perspective towards education. The situation permitted us to have that strong connection to our children and able to watch them grow and learn at home. Though it was difficult, you're still able to manage and succeed. With that, you deserve a recognition. As you look forward to your next journey, please bring with you the values you learn and the skills you gain from your alma mater. Don't fail your dream. Work on it. Bring a bright future is waiting for you. To all the graduates, mabuhay po kayo.
The message of the CID Chief, Dr. Lopez Sabapaleras.
From classroom to homes, chalkboards to computer screen, teachers teaching online, and parents turn into teachers. And this is now the reality as of this time. But despite all these challenges brought along by the global pandemic, we were able to surmount another school year. And with that, I offer my warmest congratulations to the graduates and completers of school year 2020-2021. This school year has never been easy for all of us. The schools were closed and face-to-face were canceled. Learners were introduced to a different way of learning their lessons and doing their schoolworks. Teachers now either teaching in front of a screen or spending their time printing, sorting the modules and other materials to be distributed to their learners. Parents, guardians, and relatives at home were doing their best to guide their learners as they transition towards a new learning delivery modality. Nevertheless, if there is one good thing this pandemic has brought to people, it is that it showed our strength. But despite the hardships we are all currently going through, with unity and compassion, we will rise above all and emerge victorious in the end. Kudos to all the teachers for accepting the challenge and the new duties handed over to them. To all the parents, guardians, thank you for your hard work in making sure that learners are performing their tasks and learning the things that they need to do in their home. To all the learners, hats off for your cooperations in going through all of this. My dear learners, your graduation manifests your genuine efforts and fervent desire to continue learning to achieve another milestone in your education. However, it's not so much an ending, but a new beginning. Another chapter of your journey unfolds. This year's graduation theme is strengthening the quality basic education amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. We, in the Department of Education, are committed to deliver and sustain the quality education despite the health threat we're all facing. We believe that education is not only the basic right that we need to uphold, but is the key towards achieving development and progress of our nation. But then again, DepEd alone cannot attain this. It requires collaboration and cooperation from the learners, the parents and guardians, the private sectors, and the national government. Congratulations and mabuhay Batch 2020-2021.
The message of the SGOD Chief, Dr. Mela All-World Leader.
My respect to the representative of the Lone District, our Congressman, Honorable Alan Juan B. Ecleo, to our Provincial Governor, Honorable Arlene Kaka J. Bagao, our Provincial Vice Governor, Honorable Nilo Demeri, to our Honorable Mayors of the 7 municipalities, to our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Felisa G. Laranjo, to our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Segundino A. Madhos Jr., our Chief CID, Dr. Lopi C. Papiliras, to all the division supervisors, district supervisors, school heads, parents, completers, and graduates, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My warmest greetings and congratulations to the one-of-a-kind completers and graduates of school year 2020-2021. Your graduation and completion ceremonies are supposedly be a grandiose celebration with the parents, teachers, school heads, school officials and staff, community and LGU officials abound. Yet, exalting them virtually is equally loading. Keep your head high and feel proud that you have reached this far amidst pandemic. This year's theme, Strengthening the Quality of Education Amid the COVID-19 Pandemic, speaks the truth that we in the Department of Education never cease to provide the best strategies and resources to continue the operations effectively for you, our dear learners, to receive the right education that you truly deserve. This is to prepare you to be active and productive members of the society. This school year has been the most challenging time in your life as students. A huge turning point in education. Modular and online distance learning were the best avenues for education to continue while ensuring your health, safety, and welfare. You have to be appreciative and grateful to your hardworking and supportive teachers and parents, as well as the school administrators who are your support system in pursuing your academic efforts and great allies in braving the challenges. However, according to John F. Kennedy, effort and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. Exactly. For a purpose-driven individual has a set vision and aspiration to achieve something great. They are predominantly creating a beautiful future to happen. So, dream big and diligently work for the realization of that dream. The knowledge, skills, and values instilled in you would equip you to continually improve yourself. With God's blessings and mercy, you will soar high and wide. Today, we celebrate with you in the success that you just achieved. It is my ardent wish for you to be flourishing in your chosen career. All the best of luck. God bless class of batch 2021.
The message of the Public Schools District Supervisor, Sir Elias S. Durero.
Good day to everyone. It is with great pleasure pleasure and admiration that I convey my best wishes and profound felicitations to all the graduates, completers, and academic awardees of the school year 2020-2021. This year's theme, Strengthening the Quality of Education amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Kalidad ng edukasyon lalong patatagin sa gitna ng pandemya, expresses our intense aspiration to overwhelm the challenges of this time, just to guarantee that the delivery of quality, accessible, relevant, and liberating education for all San Jose learners is still provided despite the global health crisis we face today. Indeed, finishing this challenging school year during these trying times of COVID-19 pandemic is remarkable, since it has been certain to face and accept the new normal landscape of education. Your graduation completion is a living proof that with hope and resilience, coupled with the solicited efforts among school leaders, teachers, LG officials, parents, guardians, and community stakeholders, no pandemic can hinder your aspiration towards the realization of your dreams. Congratulations and more power to 2021 graduates and completers. All the best in your next journey, and may this significant milestone encourage you to strive harder for the fulfillment of your dreams. Thank you, and God bless us all.
The most awaited part of this program is the presentation of certificates and conferment of academic excellence awards by the grade 6 advisors.
The grade 6 Fleming completers: Albores Kyle J. S., Alonsagay Justin Hartley, Bacolod Jim Lex C., Bori Ryan Gabriel I., Catani Lecter U., De Los Reyes Simon Peter Jr. B., Icleo Ruben II L., Fuentes Ron Alfred T., Gabo Sean Ernest L., Galo Josh Russell S., Laborte Christian Dave E., Libor Gian E., Lodovici Giancarlo M., Mate Jefferson H., Otero George J., Pangilinan Samrod Matayos, Pellegrino Brent Axos, Reverend Ivan Luigi B., Romano Prince Charles M., Sumailo Seth Ian Lee, Agana Mary Angel G., Clarence Jarvin Fed H., Fontilar Charisse Code L., Galagaran July U., Galinato Liana Carrie A., Del Silva Precious Chloe B., Gonzalez Seth Josephine M., Lanyohan Elefini B., Manos Luisa Natalia Corey A., Ursulan Rian Alisa A., Restiliador Rose S., Timbal Trish Ashley Y., and Valiant Charlie Sheen A.
Grade 6 result completers for the school year 2020-2021. Barrientos Abraham G. P. Boral J. Brand B. Bronidor Jason M. Ventura Kyle S. Delahiro John Adam Ferdinand I. Legal John Lawrence L. Maneha Cam PJ. O. Mengilian Jocelyn H. Sanchez Ron J. S. Theor James Clark D. Abelia Shaziriz S. Arzua Charis Joy N. Alvitan Christine R. Balvin Kristen Joy N. Alaya Razel Y. Diaz Razel Jean J. Edol Mervey P. Francisco Kashika Nicole. Logiver Mosman Elsie P. Otohan Daniela. Otero Kara Jamaica B. Otero Kara Patricia B. Pabi Relen E. Pades Wenros J. Reto Romani J. Congratulations! Grade 6 Hasan 2 completers school year 2020-2021. Alturas Gerald P. Borja Arman C. Kalaklan Axel J. Juan. Kanda Jumorta T. Ilo Jericho Kyrel C. Manalo Luvar A. Martilio Ruiz Gavril V. Hamad Juniroy C. Pampilo Camp James M. Panangin Bagani O. Prado Francis Mark R. Sabirun Justin J. D. Salumaya Jericho L. Swal Junior Alan B. Amparado Eliha Muara T. Valiero Hart M. Bulado Cyril Claire R. Kabaging Angel Maxine J. Egleo Zelaine O. Lagari Micaela P. Lumin Trina M. Marilia Zaira Hayes A. Pariha Dunabel M. Prado Francis Jean R. Siga Blazette Genre B. Congratulations!
Grade 6 Quezon Computers for school year 2020-2021. Award Jeremy In. Ampugan Velabit C. Coral James Sky. Chavez Jan Reves R. Iscario Devin J. L. Delilio Christian J. M. Ilika Jeremy Is. Guyano Lance Brian R. Olodbang Mark A. Engcalenos Jan Philip L. Liorta Riniel C. Magracia Jeponi G. Masola Manny F. Audencio Mark Joseph C. Otistas John Paul I. Bakara Leon Lee B. Barangan Ashanti Is. Cornelio Angel Me. Dalora Pierreges S. Momo Nika S. Momo Niki S. Ponce ICN. Taray Junalen C. Tijano Queni Rose P. Tudtud Marian P. Congratulations!
Grade 6 Bonifacio completers school year 2020-2021. May Alburo JC John A. Bringulin John Niyo C. Esmero Carlos Jr. N. Eusebio Nelway P. Jimena Rejan R. Lakaya Vladimir T. Palanas Mario Jr. B. Pasinaba Joey Hardy B. Rivera Janya L. Saga Harold S. Sanchez D. Julian C. Raya Vincent Jr. P. Fime Duron Shelia O. Enfimo Catrice Y. Frontera Stephanie U. Hama Ruchi B. Ingloria Princess Rhea R. Puluyapol Shireen Dwayne A. Ramoso Princess Queenie E. Salota Violeta Andre D. Seronda Robian B. Sumalino J.An A. Congratulations, job well done.
Here are the Grade 6 Academic Excellence Awardees. school year 2020-2021. Bully Ryan Gabriel I with high honors. Galinato Liana Carrie A with high honors. Galo Josh Russell S with high honors. Alvarez Kyle J S with honors. Alinsagan Justin Hardy with honors. Awitan Kristen R with honors. Bacolod G Flex C with honors. Barrientos Adrian G P with honors. Borja J Brent P with honors. Katani Lecter U with honors. Clanes Jared Feb H with honors. Dinero John Adam Ferdinand I with honors. Idol Mary Faye T with honors. Fuertes Ron Alfred T with honors. Gabo Sean Ernest L with honors. Garcilva Precious Chloe B with honors. Laborte Christian Dave E with honors. Lucifer Boswin Aze P with honors. Maneja Ken TJ O with honors. Lidiliay Jocelyn H with honors. Pangilinan Sam Ron Matthias with honors. Pilipino Brent Axos with honors. Ramoso Princess Queenie E with honors. Reverend Ivan Luigi B with honors. Salumaya Jericho L with honors. Sumayo Seth Keenan Lee with honors. Timbal Trish Ashley Y with honors. Leor James Clark B with honors. Ibanez Charlotte Sheen A with honors. Congratulations!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the introduction of guest speaker by the kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Mary Lizzie O. Owen.
Our guest speaker is a 23-year-old gorgeous lady, senior high school teacher 2 of Dinagat Schools of Fisheries Division of Dinagat Islands. She graduated her elementary education in Aurelio Elementary School, year 2010. She graduated her secondary education in Don Ruben Edera Ecleo Senior Memorial National High School, year 2014. She is a graduate of Bachelor in Physical Education, major in School PE at St. Paul University, Surigao, last 2018. She passed the board licensure examination for professional teacher last September 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Ms. Rachel May Telicano Salvacion.
I would like to take this time to honor my beloved Aurelian teachers who have greatly helped in molding me to become the woman I am now. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity I never imagined and expected to do. Words will never be enough how life-changing it was to look back to my alma mater, where I developed my love for performing and many other extracurricular activities. I am deeply honored to be your speaker for today. To you, dear graduates, na-feel na jud ninyo kung unsa pud ang akong na-feel sa una. Like ninyo ko, yes, graduate na ko. Despite this pandemic that we are facing now, it is never a hindrance to pursue education. So let us be thankful to God that He still gave us the opportunity to continue learning. According to the dictionary, success is attainment of position, honor, wealth, the goals, and the like. Maybe in a way I am, not in being wealthy or having high position, but because I have found my passion, my mission, my calling, and that is to help children build their dreams. 11 years ago, I was excited nung mata sa buntag. Maligo, magpagwapa, maado sa school with my mom. Kay sa wakas, kay mag-graduate na ko. But things are different now because of pandemic. But that doesn't stop you to graduate. You can still feel how it feels to graduate. Like you, I spent 6 years in my elementary, 6 years in school, rain or shine. After elementary, nag-high school, college, and hoping to find a job after, only to realize, dili daing ana siya kasayon. Survey says that 10 out of 100 Filipino children who graduated elementary will graduate from college. Imagine, and in the same survey, it says that only 1% out of 100 will be wealthy when they reach the age of 60. Sad to know, right? At this point of time, can I ask you, or can you ask yourselves, are you ready to face life's challenges? Am I ready? Now, you might be thinking na I'm still too young para maguna-hunaan na. But I want you to know that as young as you are, your voice, the choices you make, your actions, and your relationship with other people around you, it matters very much. Which means that the way you deal with life challenges is very important too. As I speak on this matter, I want you to focus on this passage from Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. As you take on new adventures in your academic journey, you must be ready to face 3 sure things. So what are those 3 sure things? 1, that you will have a lot of exciting, joyful new experiences. 2, that you will also have to confront difficult challenges. 3, that as long as you fix your eyes on Jesus and equip yourselves accordingly, everything will be okay. The world we live in is constantly changing, right? Not everything is set in stone. Even our hobbies, our dreams, and sometimes our friends. Even the trending topics on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they all change. But one thing remains the same in all this, and that is God. When we fix our eyes on Jesus, no matter what happens around us, we will always have the assurance of joy and peace, knowing that we have an eternal, unchanging Father who has our best intentions in his plans for us. So, to be ready in facing life challenges, we must remember that whatever we do, we must seek him first in prayer and fellowship. Seek the advice of our parents and family, and do our personal best in whatever situation we are in. With this, I want to encourage you to strive to become the best version of yourselves, holding on to the understanding that the Lord is always with you, always with us to guide, protect, provide for, and love us. Do not compare your capabilities kay ana siya, ako dili. Your achievements with that of others. No, Ayaw i-compare, but work hard instead and do your own accomplishments. When you fail, okay na. Of course, dili na siya malikayan because human as we are, we tend to fail. Do not be disheartened. Always remember that God has set out unique plans for our lives. And sometimes that plan includes failure. I also have failures in life, in many aspects. I was neglected, disappointed of many things happened in my life. But unsa akong na-learn, Ana, that is to trust God. Trust His plans and never ever complain. He is guiding you all the way. It is okay not to be okay, ingon sila. Break down sometimes, but never forget to pray and ask for His unending guidance. You are still too young, and kabalo ko, I know that you still can't understand well what I am saying. But in any case, we should see these failures and challenges as an opportunity to rise, a chance to thrive and become better, a chance to use setbacks for a comeback. It's also an opportunity for us to look for life as not defined by what our successes are or how many failures we have, but instead by how much we continuously grow in spirit, in truth, and of course, in love. God said, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you with my righteous hand." I hope that today marks the beginning of an incredible new journey for you. May you take courage and be excited for what's in store ahead. Always remember that life is a big adventure and you must hold steadfast unto the Lord and enjoy the ride. Today, may we celebrate your achievements, honor those who have helped to bring you here, and gear up for what's in store in the future. My name is Ramjel May Salvacion, batch 2010, saying congratulations and may the odds be ever in your favor. God bless you.
The words of gratitude by the grade 6 SSC people, Just Razel S. Gallo.
My respect to our division personnel headed by our school's division superintendent, Dr. Felisa G. Laranjo, to our district supervisor, Mr. Elias S. Dorero, to the faculty and staff of Aurelio Elementary School, spearheaded by our dynamic head teacher, Mrs. Lourdes H. Castro, to our guest of honor, dear teachers, beloved parents, fellow completers, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day to everyone. The 6 fruitful years we spent in our beloved alma mater, the Aurelio Elementary School, have left us with many beautiful memories. We have gained friendship with our classmates, we have obtained love and guidance from our parents and teachers, and most of all, we have learned and grown in our academic works in the classroom. But unexpectedly, school year 2020 to 2021 was different, wherein COVID-19 pandemic challenged and even threatened people from all walks of life all over the world. I thought it was only for a few months, yet the phenomenon is long and laden with challenges. Life is not easy for us pupils, life is not easy for teachers, and for everybody. Despite the odds, we continue learning in a different platform, the modular distance learning modality. Most of us had a hard time in answering the lessons, making projects, and learning activities. We had mixed emotions. We missed our school, we missed our teachers, classmates, and friends, and we missed our daily routine. But life and studies must go on. Instead of feeling wearied and worried by our situation, we must realize that burdens piled upon us are not meant to bury us, but to plant us so that we will grow and prosper. Personally, at my young age, I foresee life behind the rainbow like how I ride my bicycle. I pedaled with patience, dedication, and devotion to go far, far beyond my expectations, for in the end, I did not realize that I have done and reaped something. What I wanted is just to reach my goal. Today is a memorable day for all of us because we have just closed an episode of our lives, the elementary level. As we move on from this educational ladder and embark on the next long journey, let us not perceive that hardship will end right here on our completion day, because this is just the beginning. Hence, the knowledge, skills, and values that we have learned from our alma mater will be our powerful tool as we step forward higher to a junior high school. Rest assured that wherever we go, whoever and whatever we may be in the coming days, by God's will, we would always look back on our beloved alma mater and think of what we can do to offer as a symbol of loyalty, respect, love, and gratitude in return. As we seal this unforgettable chapter of our academic life, allow me to congratulate you all for all the accomplishments that we have achieved. Our victory in this earliest battle of our education is not only for us, but also our school and family's triumph. This is the day for us to be extremely thankful, for they are the reasons behind our success. To our dear teachers from grades 1 to 6, both in the special science and general education class, thank you for teaching us not just from the books, but from your heart. Thank you for teaching us not just about the lessons in the book, but also about life. We are grateful for your efforts, especially in this challenging school year. If it were not for your untiring determination, learning at home would not be possible. We are most thankful for our grade 6 teachers, Teacher Eden, Teacher Rosemary, Teacher Myrna, Teacher Karen, and Teacher Adonymous. Though we didn't experience to be with them in the classroom, but we felt their sincerity, dedication, and love towards us. We owe a lot from you, dear teachers. Though we are always together, but perhaps we have not said this to you often. Thank you, Mommy, Daddy, Papa, Mama, Nanay, Tatay, Lolo, and Lola. We are forever grateful for your immeasurable love and care, for the time and effort. Thank you for the discipline you imposed to make our future bright. You are our light. There are no enough words to express how much we love and appreciate you. To my mom and dad, I hope I made you proud today. Thank you, and I love you. To my co-completers, thank you for all the good friendship. Thank you for not giving up even if the school year was tough. Also, let us not forget our classmate, my best friend, who is no longer with us today but forever be in our hearts and thoughts. Stephen Ford Axeldan L. Maribao, who once upon a time shared this dream with us. May the memories we had with him inspire us to be better, for in that way we also give him success. Though it's so sad to part and bid goodbye, let me quote a verse from Jeremiah 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. My fellow completers, always remember, we are the future. Now, I would like to take you on a bike ride with me as we share this experience and journey together. I know all of us will soar high on the next heights of our academic journey as we walk along and keep the faith in our hearts that God is our ultimate source of strength and wisdom. Thank you so much. God bless us all.
Pledge of Loyalty by the grade 6 SSC pupil, Liana Kari A. Galinato.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. We, the members of Class 2021 of Aurelio Elementary School, do hereby solemnly pledge that wherever we may be and whatever pursuit we may undertake, to uphold the prestige of our alma mater by having exemplary lives, cherishing the education and privileges we enjoy in this institution, with unfaltering loyalty and devotion to her. We will always try our best to give greater honor and fame to our beloved alma mater. So help us God.
At this moment is the singing of the graduation song by grade 6 completers for the school year 2020-2021 via audio-video presentation.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now. I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. Losing friends and I'm chasing sleep. Everybody's worried about me. In too deep. Say I'm in too deep. And it's been 2 years, I miss my home, but there's a fire burning in my bones. Still believe, yeah, I still believe. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now. I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. A lot of fight left in me. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now. I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. No, I've still got a lot of fight left in me.
And now let's hear the words of acknowledgement by the school head of Aurelio Elementary School, Lourdes H. Castro.
Graduation
completion, and moving up ceremonies are events learners and their parents or guardians are looking forward to, as these are the moments when all of their hard work and perseverance are rewarded and recognized. This time of each school year, our dear pupils and their families become the most excited and busiest with preparations in celebration of progress and achievements they have attained. Keeping all of this in mind, I share the same joy and pride. It is beyond uncertainty that school year 2020-2021 has been enormously challenging in our country's educational system, which was instigated by the global health and economic crisis that compelled us to adopt different learning modalities and revolutionize our communication platforms. I humbly come to an agreement that our afflictions are indeed in contrary to our normal ways of life. As a result, we have to accustom our dealings and undertakings according to many restrictions and health protocols. In spite of this, we have consistently exhibited endurance and compassion in order to perform our individual responsibilities. It is in our strong belief in God, our commitment for service, and love for mankind that we enforce our hearts and spirits and enable us to surpass however complex the situation may seem. Conveying a message of jubilation amidst difficult time is never easy, particularly when such important occasion would have been most savored if commemorated with people whom we have shared special and meaningful memories with, our teachers, classmates, colleagues, and people who are close to our hearts. However, this moment in the face of pandemic may have become a perfect time to convey a message of heartfelt gratitude. In this manner, please allow me to express our wholehearted acknowledgement to people who have extended their contributions in one way or another for the success of this academic year. First, to our beloved learners who underwent great adjustment to a new approach of instruction without their teachers' physical presence and guidance in accomplishing their tasks. Thank you, mga langga, sa paningkamot. Next, to all dear parents and guardians who exhausted extra time, effort, finances, and broad-mindedness in the course of providing assistance to their children, in the delivery and retrieval of modules and learning outputs, as well as their sustained communication with teachers and untiring support to our school. Daghang salamat kaayo mga madam and sir. In the same way, it is of my utmost knowledge how our valued teachers have been fighting the battle since day one, and how firm they stand in order to carry out their mission despite risks and health hazards. Their restless nights of modules reproduction and checking, their countless messages, calls, and chats with parents and learners, their unequaled sacrifices in view of public service as education frontliners, just to be able to continually deliver basic education in absence of face-to-face learning, and their selfless manifestations of love for the nation and its future bearers, our treasured learners. Undeniably, their acts of heroism is worth commending and thanking for. To you, our dear Aurelia teachers, I have witnessed each of your empathy, dedication, and struggle. And for this, Maraming salamat po. On behalf of Aurelio Elementary School, please accept our truthful appreciation to our education partners and stakeholders. DepEd Dinagat Division officials and personnel, headed by our school's division superintendent, Dr. Felisa G. Naranjo, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Sigurtino A. Nalvas Jr., CID Chief, Dr. Lope Capileras, SGOD Chief, Dr. Mila Heraldino, our PSDS in San Jose District, Sir Elias S. Durero, the provincial and local government units of the province of Dinagat Islands, national line agencies, Parents Teachers Association, School Governing Council, parents, and pupils. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. This fight would have been a lot difficult without your cooperation, assistance, and share of care and understanding. Above all, our sincerest gratefulness to our Lord Father for the unconditional love, protection, and wisdom. Equally, our indebtedness to the local hero of Dinagat Islands Province, Divine Master Ruben Edera Icayo Sr., who had first envisioned immense aspirations for all Dinagatnons, and whose teachings and legacy continue to inspire, enlighten, and strengthen us to become optimistic, courageous, and devoted despite intricacies we are all encountering. To you, our dear completers, as you advance to a higher grade level, always bear in mind all of your remarkable experiences with your peers. Instill in your heart the significant learning and skills you have developed and imparted with others through the guidance of your parents and teachers. And reflect on your good hearts and deeds, the values and faith your beloved alma mater has always desired for you to live by. Once again, thank you and congratulations, Aurelio Elementary School completers. Life is not a race, neither are success and achievements uniform. The way we celebrate your completion might be different from what we hope to be. Nevertheless, we congratulate you, we celebrate you. As you step higher, please remember, Aurelio Elementary School got your back. This has been Teacher Elsa Francisco, reminding you to never stop learning, never stop striving, for you will surely receive what you are aiming. Thank you so much, stay healthy and happy. Congratulations, God bless us all.
And I'm chasing sleep. Everybody's worried about me. In too deep. Say I'm in too deep. And it's been 2 years. I miss my home, but there's a fire burning in my bones. Still believe. Yeah, I still believe.